Starting your own business can help you and your family get to heaven. I'm Andrew Flushy, and I run a successful law firm here in Virginia. This video is going to talk about how you can use a business to help you and your family secure your financial freedom, but also, and more importantly, try to help secure your path to being a saint. There's a lot of good information about business and finance in the online world. However, very little of it actually talks about things from a faith perspective. And that's the lens that we're called to use as Christians when we're trying to make decisions in our lives. Sadly, many of the business gurus out there are downright immoral in just the way they talk and act and behave and run their lives. Business doesn't have to be immoral. You can have a successful business that can help provide your family's financial future and also help your family to become saints. This video is going to give you some ideas on how to do that. In our current society, there's this tension between business and faith. People seem to have this idea that you have one life you lead in your church, in your faith sphere, and you have another life that you lead in business or politics, maybe if that's your business you're in. As Catholics, we believe that we're one person, body and soul. Everything is integrated about us. So that's why it matters what we do with our bodies in light of God's law and His commandments. But also it matters what we do with our job, our business and politics, because it all has to be done according to God's law and what we're called to be as Christians. There doesn't have to be a tension between business and faith. It's not a business versus faith discussion. What we need to be having in our culture is a discussion of how we can integrate your new business and your faith, how they can go together, and frankly they should complement each other. So here are some ideas on how to do that. The first thing to keep in mind is that you're the captain of your ship. You're deciding your future. Now, obviously, we need to think about what is God's will for us. What is God calling us to do, and try to do that in every moment of our lives, and frankly, with a new business venture. And this is why you need to think about what is the purpose of your business, and is your business a good thing, or maybe not such a good thing? And I mean financially as well. So obviously it needs to be able to succeed financially. So you need to find the right product or service, make sure there's a market for it, make sure you can charge enough for that service that it's a fair and good compensation for what the service or product is, and also that you're not ripping people off. But deeper than that, is it a moral thing you're doing? Is it actually a good thing for people to have? A good example from my own life is my law firm. When I hung out my shingle to be a solo attorney, I talked with some people that I had met, and essentially people told me that if I put a sign up saying I did family law, I'd have more business than I could handle. But family law entails divorce. And as a Catholic, certainly there are some grounds where divorce can be warranted to protect the spouses in cases of physical violence, for example. But in our current culture in America, a lot of divorces, frankly, shouldn't be happening. I decided right from the beginning that I wouldn't have anything to do with divorce. I didn't think it was something that would line up with my values and what I saw as God's will for my life. What about your business and the idea you're working on? Let us know in the comments how you think that might line up with God's will for your life, and also morality in general. Are you doing something or planning to do something that's good for people and society? The next important thing when you're starting your own business is that you get to set the rules. You don't have a boss you have to answer to. You don't have a PR department that you have to follow to make sure you're not saying or doing anything that might be offensive to somebody out there. So you can do what you think is right and what you think God is calling you to do. You literally set the rules in every area of your new business. Now, certainly your customers may say otherwise. They may say they don't like what you're doing, and that's a risk that we take as business owners in every decision we make. You may do something that a customer doesn't like, and they may not hire your business, and that's their prerogative. But it's also your prerogative as the boss, as the owner of the new business, to do what you think is right and what you think God is calling you to do. Remember, you set the rules. Along those lines, it's important when you're starting your own business to try to make sure that you're starting from a good place of balance with your business, with your faith, and with your family. And obviously, your faith has to come first. God has to be the priority in your life. Your family needs to come next, and your business comes last. So when you're starting your own business, you need to think from that lens. Is this business, and are these hours and these things that I may be called to do, is it going to harmonize with my family life? Is it going to harmonize with my spiritual life? How is it all going to work together? One great example is if you're starting a business that might require you to have Sunday hours. Let's say you're starting some kind of restaurant perhaps, where Sunday is going to be a big day for business in the restaurant industry. Is that really a business that you should start? Frankly, I'm no theologian. I'm not going to tell you that you can't work ever on Sundays. I certainly have worked plenty of Sundays in my life. But I will tell you that it's something that I've been working on eliminating from my life. Sunday is supposed to be the day that we honor the Lord and a day of rest for us. God knows what we need. He is our Heavenly Father, our divine creator. And He made us to have a 6-day week, and on the 7th day we rest, just like He did when He created the world. And if your new business is designed where you absolutely have to work every Sunday, that's probably not the best business for you to be in as a Christian. So maybe it's something you need to think about. Can this business work without working on Sundays? Chick-fil-A is a great example, right? They're a restaurant who thrives despite the fact that they're closed on one of the busiest restaurant days of the week. Perhaps your new restaurant could do the same thing, and frankly, maybe even attract more like-minded customers because you're putting your faith first. Another example about making sure you have the proper balance is perhaps with travel. If your business is something where you would have to travel a lot and be away from your family, maybe that's not the right choice for you either. If you're a single person, maybe it is the right thing for you right now. Maybe you can use your business to travel around and do your business and serve your clientele, and also use your travels to witness to people that you encounter and deepen your own spiritual life throughout your travels. But if you have a lot of little kids at home, maybe traveling in a business is really not the right choice for you, right now at least. Maybe that's a business idea you should table for a while. Then we come to one of the most important things with integrating your business and your faith, and that's how you can actually witness to your customers and vendors and just the public in general. Simple things you can do to try to show people that this business is a little different. This is a Christian business, a Catholic business. So one little example is having simply crucifixes in your office. You don't have to have the biggest crucifix that you can find that's 5 feet tall, that's going to literally smack people in the face when they walk in the door. But you could have a small crucifix in every room, as you should. You can start with having your priest bless your office, as they will if you ask them to. You could have some simple religious art. I have a St. Joseph painting over my desk. That's more for me than anything to remind me that St. Joseph is a great friend in a high place. But also things to think about are simple things like maybe Christmas cards. When I first started my business, I was frankly a little nervous to send out a Christmas card to say Merry Christmas. We sent out a lot of times a New Year's card or something like that because I do have a wide range of diverse clientele. We've grown quite a bit, and frankly, a few years ago, we started saying, you know what, we're Christian, and we're going to send a Merry Christmas card. Now, we're not beating people over the head with it. It's a simple card that says Merry Christmas with some nice artwork. It's something that shows what we're celebrating as a firm and what our family believes in. It's a simple little way to witness. Another example is simply in working with your clientele or your customers. In my practice, I deal with people that are going through a really tough time. And sometimes it's literally the worst thing that's ever happened to them, or at least the worst thing in the past few years. Some clients are in tears. I've had clients on the brink of suicide. When people are going through something that rough, it's the time where we can witness to them and we can help them to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Even if we don't actually talk about God specifically, or Christianity even more specifically, even if all we do is to do our job excellently, and to help our clients and give them great customer service, that alone is a strong witness to people of having just a friendly person who's there in their time of need. And maybe when the opportunity presents itself to offer a kind word about God or Jesus, that everything will be okay in God's providence. God literally knows what we need, and He's there to take care of us. So even in just working with your clientele, there's plenty of times where in your business, no matter what it is, you can offer that kind word of support and perhaps a prayer. And we've had clients going through all sorts of things, deaths, births, marriages, everything in between. It's a great opportunity to offer your prayers and to let them know that you're praying for them. We do that in our firm, and I think that's a small little witness that we can do to try to show people that we're Christians and Christians take care of one another. The next video for you to check out is all about how getting fired was the best thing that happened to me. I'll see you over there.